The concerned parties have been convinced that public airing of dirty laundry helps no one and achieves nothing, least of all for the picture, protection of which is front and center. The principals, who may have been ripping out one another's aortas just weeks before, appear on television, smiling and tidied up, fielding softball questions lobbed by Allison Anchor, sounding like those robotic sports figures who mumble modestly, "I'm just taking it one game at a time," or, "My opponent, he's a real competitor." If the picture bombs, nobody cares how much blood was spilled making it. If it does well, success, Oscar nominations, big grosses, make lovebirds of them all. In both cases, the truth becomes a casualty of the calendar, old news, swept aside by the next big release. Miramax, and to a lesser extent Sundance, dominate this story, as they do the indie world. Many filmmakers in mid-career and staffers interviewed for this book were reluctant to speak the truth about either. The Sundance Film Festival in January is the most important event on the indie calendar. Filmmakers arrange their shooting schedules so that their films will be out of the lab in time to be seen by festival director Jeff Gilmore the preceding fall. There are other festivals, Telluride, Toronto et al., but Sundance is far and away the foremost showcase for indie films, the best place to see and be seen, to rub shoulders with Hollywood honchos and network with peers. Again, Tarantino speaking about submitting Reservoir Dogs. "I've never had anything in my life like that, the fever of are we going to get in, are we going to get in, are we going to get in, like every American independent filmmaker sweating and growing bald thinking about it." If you're turned down, it's back to the convenience store or social work school. Moreover, if you cross Sundance, you won't be able to take advantage of the labs or the tender loving care it offers. Even though Robert Redford's record as the Jefe of the Institute has been checkered at best, he has rarely known bad press, especially after he was first able to wrap himself in the Sundance banner. Except once, in 1991, when yours truly wrote a critical article that was published in Premiere Magazine. Even though I was able to interview him at that time, Redford, who has a long memory and holds on to grudges like a drowning man, refused to cooperate with this book, and more or less blocked my access to at least one key person who works for him. Then there's Miramax, run by the Weinstein brothers, Harvey and Bob. They have a reputation for brilliance, but also for malice and brutality. Even though, properly speaking, Miramax is not an indie, it was at one time, and until very recently bestrode that world like the proverbial colossus. Questions about Harvey Weinstein tend to elicit stock responses like, "He's passionate about movies," or "He may be difficult, but he's all about the work," accompanied by rolling of the eyeballs. So while there are many, many attributed quotes in this book, there are unattributed ones as well. Weinstein likes to go on in the press about the unattributed quote, implying that it is the last refuge of the scoundrel, a dagger wielded under cover of night. And it's true that in a perfect world, sources would freely speak out, without fear of retribution. But unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world. Each year, Miramax releases as many films as a couple of studios combined. By virtue of the volume of its output, it is by far the largest employer of above-the-line talent and below-the-line crew in New York City, and it has a significant presence in Los Angeles as well. Staffers are afraid that if they talk, they will lose their jobs and find themselves blackballed from future employment. Directors fear that if they put themselves on the Weinstein's bad side, they won't be handed that next hot Nicole Kidman film, or any film at all. Writers wonder if they'll be able to sell their latest script. Actors worry that they won't be hired for the coveted role in the upcoming Lasse Hallström picture. As director James Ivory puts it, "A lot of people are afraid to speak out. Directors, actors, and actresses, and other people who eventually might end up in his hands again, might want to make another movie with him even though they've had a bad experience. They're not going to talk." The Coen brothers, perhaps the quintessential indie team working today, recently produced a picture called Bad Santa, set up at Bob Weinstein's Miramax division, Dimension, starring Billy Bob Thornton, and directed by Terry Zwigoff, Crumb, Ghost World. After some ugly disputes, Bob took the film away from Zwigoff and had a different director reshoot the ending. Zweighoff subsequently
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.